What's up, guys? James Palms here. Today we're looking at my Mexican fan palm, my largest Mexican fan palm here in the ground in southern Ontario, Canada here. And we're just going to do some sort of fiber boot stripping, whatever you want to call it. I call it fiber stripping. So all these old leaf bases, this is the old leaf base for people who don't know. When a palm, most palms, when these type of palms, palmate palms like this, make a frond, the old part of where it was connected, that was originally sort of down in the crown as it was getting pushed out, comes out, and it kind of, originally it'll look like this sort of, and that's basically the leaf base of where the petiole connects to the plant, to the trunk. So when that gets older and older, it gets further down because, well, it doesn't get further down, but the crown grows further, higher and higher up. And as that happens, the base of this part of the trunk, the crown is skinnier than the rest of the trunk because that's the growing point. So as that gets wider and wider, as you see down here, what happens is it starts to segment and it rips the part of it splits the leaf base in half, and then it'll split it. They don't all split them. I think most of them do split them, but nevertheless, anyway, so it'll split them like this. And as it splits them, it creates sort of this nice little pattern, kind of looks nice. And then you'll have your old sort of stump here that you cut off your thing, especially if you did a bad job like I did, and you didn't, and you left this out. So you want to trim it closer so that it looks more like this one. So there's not like these spines and stuff hanging off of it. But nevertheless, so you do that, and as it gets older and older, the weather and material and rain and bugs tend to kind of like eat at this old stuff, and it tends to look ratty. So these right here, I was grabbing them and they were just falling off just recently. I've noticed that they were basically falling off. A couple of them fell off in a rainstorm and stuff. So I've started to just rip them off. So I just literally just ripped off, I don't know, a half dozen here, and they all came off relatively easy. So I just started ripping these off, and I pruned off two of my lowest hanging fronds that weren't looking too great. They were from the winter and they're pretty beat up. So I pruned off those fronds. And then somebody had already started this when it was a very small plant, like way too small, when it was about a 15 gallon. One of the growers thought it would look cool, so they started fiber striping it. But it actually looked bigger when it was smaller. They did a bigger section. They did maybe 3-4 inches of the bottom of the plant. But now that the trunk has grown a significant amount from there, they did about this little section here. I got to pile up some more soil. The soil line should be right around here. It's not a big deal to have a few roots exposed like that. But nevertheless, so I decided to start doing this. So basically, this is going to be your tutorial video. So pull off as much of this stuff as you can. A lot of it does, a lot of it pulls off. But even if it doesn't pull off, as much as you can, once you get up to here, and they start getting, sorry, I am doing this one-handed. Once you get up here, though, these ones here are pretty solid. Just leave the ones that are solid. You don't need to. They'll come off in time. You got ones like this. See, this one here is coming off. So basically, pull it off to wherever you can get it. And what happens is there's a bunch of this fiber left. So all you do is with a razor blade, this is what I did, is you just, there's a million videos like this out here on tutorial, and you want to like start here at the bottom. So what I did is right here, luckily they already had this part started. This is the hardest part to get from the ground because these will be buried in the ground and mulch and things and bugs. So what you want to do though is just start down here and just basically just make a bunch of cuts. And you'll think, oh, some pieces aren't going to come. And all of a sudden bigger chunks start falling, and you just sort of follow it up, and that's it. That's all there's to it. And basically just keep making little small cuts like that, and you'll see it'll start to fall off. I'll do a little section here so you can see it get a little bit clean. So, and then you kind of use your hand and kind of pull away the debris. And let's see. And you can even go like this too, like upwards. And this won't hurt the palm, just don't go deep. Just little tiny cuts like this, just little tiny cuts, just cutting away the fiber. And this palm won't take very long because it's very small, and if I do this over the few years, it won't take long at all to do this. You'd only have to do this once every couple of years, maybe not even every year. So there we go. All right. So you get the picture. I'm not going to do the whole palm here. I'll turn the camera back on when I'm done, and give you a final look. So there's I had done this little spot here, and I thought, you know what, I'm doing this. Maybe you guys would want to see it on the camera here. So I just did this little section here for you guys. You can see, and yeah, you see the bark underneath. It kind of already looks like this. It doesn't really hurt it anything. It gives a nice little like sort of a scratching look. It's partially from the knife, but I think it's also partially just each step of each ring of the palm when it was growing on the old leaf bases. So yeah, it looks awesome anyways. So I think it's going to look good. So I'm going to go up to just about here. Just going to do about a foot probably from the soil line, about 12 inches up. And then I'll leave these parts here solid, because you don't want to start messing around with this part of the crown here. This part is still growing and expanding. Don't need to be making cuts and things like that up in there. So anyways, let's turn it off, and I'll finish cleaning it up, and then well, there'll be lots of debris to clean up, but I'll just show you a look of afterwards here. So let's do this. All right, guys, well, that was a bit of work, but look at that. How nice and clean does that look? So I took off 2 of these fronds that were looking pretty ratty. I might take off that one too. That one's looking pretty ratty. It'll kind of complete the look here. Cleaning it up. Look at that. So I did about, maybe 10 inches, 11 inches. I could have went a little higher, but these ones here are pretty solid. They have a nice color to them. They're not disintegrating. And I used the razor blade too, and I trimmed all the stubs off so that it's nice and smooth. Gives it a nice smooth look. Wear gloves and glasses when you're doing this. A lot of stuff's flying off of there. There's lots of bugs in there. So there's the trunk right from the bottom. You can start to see where I did it. Just this little bit of gray down there was all that was done. So I started from about here, and I went all the way up to there. And I did that all the way around. And it's hard work on your back. And I trimmed off all the extra stumps. I trimmed these all off close to the trunk. And then I'll keep working at this when over the years here, so that it keeps that very clean look. I think it's a little more tropical looking too. It makes the trunk look a little bit smaller because there was a lot of meat on there, kind of, and stumps hanging out and stuff like that. So it definitely made the trunk look a lot fatter. But I don't care. I'm not in a fat trunk award like the Sable over there or something. But Mexican fan palm usually have relatively skinny trunks. But so this one's pretty good. Looking good. All right. Ooh, a nice hibiscus here. And another one up here. And the sun's trying to peek out. My little wall of palmage here. Let's walk over here, guys. It's the big reveal time. This is the carnage. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. How much better does that look? Look at the makeover. This is the big reveal. It's like Extreme Makeover Palm Edition. Look at that. Looking good. How much better does that look, guys? With the nice big, I did a bigger circle to match the bigger trunk now. I did a much bigger circle. Fresh mulch, all shaved up, all cleaned up. Got rid of some dead frondage. Looking good. All right. Well, the sun came out, so I got to give it one more last beauty look here, guys. Look at that. Absolutely love the makeover. The trunk. That's a full palm, full body makeover. Oh, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Later.